And now, it's the Post Show with Pops and Kooky. A discussion about what you just heard on Limit Break Radio and Final Encountercast. LimitBreakRadio.com.
What's up, LBR listeners? How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
How's it going, Kook?
I'm good. It's tiring.
Yeah?
I'm a little tired.
You have a busy weekend?
Kinda, not really.
Right. Oh, you're just tired just because you're tired?
Just tired. We actually did an afternoon hike up a mountain. Well, mountain.
Oh, that's right. I seen those pictures.
So my legs are tired and I just want to lay in a bath.
Right.
How was your weekend?
Stressful. The whole week has been stressful. Continuing circumstances that I cannot talk about. But there will be a day. There will be a day where I'll be able to talk about it. So, yeah. I'm averaging about 3 hours of sleep a day and eating once, maybe twice if I'm lucky. So
That's not good.
No. But hey, it's life, throws shit balls at you and you just got to knock them out of the park, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So how was that? I mean, that hike. I mean, those pictures looked phenomenal.
So it's about 3 mile hike or so. Well, like there's two trails. If you go to the right side, it's not as bad. It's just 2 miles long.
Right.
But if you go on the left side, it's only 1 mile, but it's like a steeper incline.
Right.
And I was dying.
Oh.
We decided to take the hard part. But
do you hike a lot or no?
no, that was
Okay.
actually our first time. That
Okay.
was actually the original spot where Pelly was supposed to propose to me, but I'm like, I'm glad you didn't do it.
Right, because you guys are both been tired.
Yes, we were tired. But
I
it's
like the
reward.
beach. I like the beach thing a lot better. I have to say that.
I do like the beach.
Nice. So, I mean, with that view you had, though, I mean, it looked awesome. I couldn't believe that.
It's great. The Inland Empire here, we're known for like smog and stuff, but like when you're up there,
What?
it actually looks clear. Like blue
Right.
skies, green trees. You can actually see the landscape. So
Now-
it's actually awesome.
Behind you, was that all the smog and you were just looking in the opposite direction?
No, no.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm very sure about that.
Oh, man, we had a couple good shows today.
We did. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I like the topics. The topics are great.
On which one?
Final Encountercast.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the whole ageism thing. I
Oh.
did not think about that kind of stuff.
I'm living that, actually.
Oh, come on. You're not that old,
I'm
are
not
you?
that old, but I can relate. I cannot play fighting games anymore, like Mortal Kombat or stuff like that. I just don't have that hand-eye coordination like I did 10, maybe 20 years ago. I just don't have that anymore.
So now that you're getting older, on your point of view,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of gaming would you still be interested in?
Let's see. Lately, of course, Final Fantasy 14, where you don't have to react as quickly, but you do have to react. That's pretty much as fast-paced as I can get. That's sad, I know. I've been playing a lot of there's a game out there called Don't Starve. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of that.
It's pretty cool. It's very. I like the graphics in it. I know it's very cartoony and shit like that, but it's very neat. God, what else? I have been playing. I tried The Witcher 3, and that's a difficult game for me to grasp. I'm gonna have to probably get back to playing that.
Why is it? Is it too open world or?
Just.
Wait, you actually get motion sickness from
Yeah.
racing games?
Yeah, like you get was it Forza? I think it's called. It's on the Xbox. I can't remember.
Forza.
Yeah, I'm not that great at it for one, but then it's also all the cars moving extremely fast past you, or you're running through streets and stuff like that. I just can't handle that kind of stuff.
Wait, you actually get motion sickness from racing games?
Yeah, like you get was it Forza? I think it's called. It's on the Xbox. I can't remember.
Forza.
Yeah, I'm not that great at it for one, but then it's also all the cars moving extremely fast past you, or you're running through streets and stuff like that. I just can't handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's very weird, I know.
No.
Sorry.
You're okay. The only one game that I had motion sickness was Spyro. I know that sounds weird, but Spyro
the dragon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
The whole camera angles, I think it just I don't know, it fucked me over. So I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Right.
I don't know. It's just different with every person, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, my fiance's trying to get me into playing Sims and stuff like that. I don't know if I could play something like that, and I don't know. But hey, I mean, there's a game out there for everybody. Whether you're right now in your 80s. I know, like they were talking about, they play the Wii and in the homes that they're in and stuff like that.
Right.
When my dad was in the hospital, he actually started playing the Wii. Never played anything like that. He loves it.
He loves it, really?
Yeah, he was once in a while. He's in his 60s, and he would play bowling with his old buddy from Vietnam. Would come over, and his buddy can't bowl. He's got a hip replacement, and he's got arthritis and stuff. But all he has to do is move the wand, and he can bowl.
Oh, so it's like a replacement for what you can do.
And the same thing with golfing.
Games.
Yeah, he can't go out and golf and he loved to golf, but now he's on the Wii Sports stuff. He can do this kind of stuff. So I mean, there's a game out there for everybody, for every age, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
And it's just going to be interesting to see how, like we were talking about earlier, how games are going to progress when we get older. What's it going to be like when I'm my dad's age, around in 20 years? I mean.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't think about it right now.
I'm trying not to. So EsKalia joins us today.
Good evening.
Hello.
God, was that not a depressing conversation?
Yeah, it was.
I sat there the whole time just like picturing myself being like old and like trying to play like the new game that came out. I was like, I can't do it. My thumbs don't work.
Here, Granddad, I'll show you how to do it.
I was literally having flashbacks to my grandfather, God bless his soul. When I was a kid, he bought a Game Boy to try to play games with me, because whenever I went over there, I would have my Game Boy.
Yeah.
So he bought a Game Boy and bought The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which was the game that I had and I was playing at the time, and tried to learn how to play it so that he could play with me.
Right.
Which was like looking back,
That's
at the time, I was like, oh, grandpa.
Right.
But like now looking back, I'm like, I had the coolest grandpa in the world. But in all the years that he played it, he could never beat the second dungeon. And I must have showed him how to beat that boss 1,000 times.
Right.
And he could never do it. And I'm sitting here having these horror flashbacks to that moment, like, oh God, I'm not going to be able to beat the second dungeon boss, or the second dungeon boss. Oh God, there's going to be a little punk ass version of myself showing me how to do it, and I'm not going to be able to, and I hate it.
I remember in high school, I believe the TurboGrafx 16 was out. That was a long time ago.
All right, well, when I was in high school, I had an N64.
I think it was
or
early
PS2.
Early to mid 90s. And I took it over to my grandma's house. My grandpa was passed away since then. And I was playing Bonk's Adventure. It's this cave kid going around just headbutting shit.
Bonk's Adventure, I think I remember that.
Yeah. And she came in and see me headbutting stuff, and she goes, what are you doing? Why don't you just go outside and play with rocks and sticks and stuff like we did when we were kids? We were fine with it,
Yeah.
But Grandma, this is fun, know?
Yeah, see, rocks and sticks are lame.
Yeah. I mean...
Sorry to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Decibels is asking in the chat, how old are you, Papa?
That is a trade secret.
Yeah.
we don't discuss it here. We merely make fun of it.
I'm nearing over the hill. I'm probably almost 10 years older than some people here.
Well, I'm only 26.
I am over 10 years older than you. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost 27, kind of. Not really.
You have a couple more months.
I've got till July.
I slightly remember those years. It was more of a drunken haze back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I instead get yelled at by assholes. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll all be a haze for me, too.
Right. But I wanted you on the show because I want to talk about the FFFL.
Oh, okay.
And how awesome of a job you did.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I am surprised, actually, because we both, like you were talking about, you come from also a fantasy football league. And I've played many football leagues, hockey leagues, basketball leagues. And this league was one of the funnest I've ever had playing a fantasy league, man.
Dude, I was nervous trying to bring a sports thing to video games because, I mean, you and I think, are the only big sports fans on the show.
Right.
And it was something that when I pitched it, I thought I might get away with pitching it because we were going up against a Super Bowl, and that's kind of how I presented. Like, well, we're up against a Super Bowl anyway. Why don't we try and make like a sports bit out of it? Like we're the big sports event happening. And they were into it. Like, they were really into the idea. And I had just pitched it as to be a one-day bit where we were going to do this fantasy draft. And that was going to be the end of the bit. Like, it was that for the competition against Super Bowl 50.
Right.
And then, like, as the day came, they were asking me, so how's the league actually going to work when we start it? And I'm sitting there like, oh, we're actually going to do it?
I didn't think that far ahead.
In my head, I'm thinking like, oh, crap. Well, we'll have the teams and people will vote on them.
Right.
And it kind of just went from there.
Oh, man, such a good job. And I know you've talked a little bit about the next season. I don't want you telling anybody about the things, but from what you said, I am stoked.
The next season of the FFFL is going to see some massive expansion on what we've done this season, including some things that you don't get in real fantasy leagues because there's no way. I mean, I can spoil this. Next season, there's going to be home and away games. Like, we're going to have a home and away element added to it. We are going to be expanding teams, and as Nero said on Limit Break Radio, there will be opportunities for fans to perhaps have a team this season in the FFFL. So that's exciting, but there is a lot of different things. The way scheduling is going to work is going to be different. The core of the game is still going to be there. It's still going to be down to fan votes. But we're really looking forward to expanding on it. There will be a prize for winning next season.
Ooh.
There will be.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to expanding on the FFFL. I was so thrilled with how well the bit went over, and like no one I thought at least someone would be like, why are we doing like a sports bit on this show?
Right, or maybe it died off halfway through the season.
Or it would it would like lose momentum and lose steam. But no, like people got more into it as the season went on. So everyone started looking forward to the FFFL updates and the updates on Tuesday. I had fun making them. So
you can tell. You can definitely tell.
Yeah, like Tuesday is always my day. Like I'll sit there before work. And I'll wake up early that day to go ahead and make all the images that are needed, and we'll start the thing. And if I can finish it before work, great. If not, I post it when I get home. But it is one of my favorite things I do for the show is making that presentation, because it's fun to get to take like the things that we see in sports and apply them to this,
right?
Especially like the news segments where like I can take like a big sports news story and
like the deflated ball,
the deflate gate thing, exactly, and apply that here. And people who like sports get the joke, and people who don't are just kind of like, well, that was weird, but okay,
right?
So it's a fun bit, and people seem to take to it really well. So I'm happy it's going well.
Yeah, I can't wait. When is the next season? Is it going to be next year, or is it going to be?
No, we've been talking about it at great length. Obviously, the league finishes up next week, and we definitely will have an off season because we're going to take some time to figure out who's going to be added to the league,
all the dynamics
of it, get all that panned out. We've talked about, some of us have expressed interest in maybe waiting for a while and letting the bit kind of recharge, and some of us have, like, some people just want to dive right into the next season. I myself feel like it's a strong bit that doesn't take a lot of time. We never spend more than 15 or 20 minutes, so I don't think it's going to get stale, especially if we do have a prize for winning. So I would like to just continue, kind of like take maybe a couple weeks as an off season and then jump back in. But I think what we'll do is we're going to get some fan feedback and see, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the bit needs a little bit of time to recharge? Or do you think if we add some stuff to it and, keep going, is it going to be fun for you guys? So we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it.
Would it be before season 2 of The Feast or right around that time?
It'll probably start a little beforehand. Originally, I wanted this to line up with The Feast.
Yeah, I remember that.
But, I mean, it's so, at this point, loosely related to the feast that I don't think it matters when it's going on. I mean, the feast is not... What we're doing is just completely far and away from what the feast is, so I don't think it actually matters. But we've shared a lot of different perspectives and things we'd like to try in the future. I know we talked about maybe one season, rather than doing like a 12-week season, we would do a March Madness tournament, which would be like everyone pick their team and we'll March Madness our way to a winner. I thought that would be a really
like
cool,
a bracket system.
like a bracket system.
No way,
and everyone, everyone could fill out their brackets and turn them in and stuff like that. I thought that'd be a really cool idea for maybe like the third season or something like that. So there's a ton that we can do with it to keep it fresh. Like, it's the world of sports.
Right.
It's provided storylines for hundreds of years now. I think it's a bit that we can keep going.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
There's a few people in chat who already want to help you, Callie. There's like Maki, 86 miles per hour, Sissel. Silite even says it's hilarious, an ever-changing source of loose controversy and inter-series criticism. So,
wow. Okay.
How are they going to get in touch with you if they want to help you out with this?
The easiest way is on Twitter at EsKalia. Or you can message me on Skype, EsKalia_Ryumasa. Those are the two easiest ways to message me. I would suggest probably Twitter, and then if we need to like talk further from that, I can go over to Skype or something like that. So that would definitely be what I would recommend. I want to say thanks to everyone who took part in this season of the FFFL. My favorite bit about it, and I wish I could say this was planned. Like if I had the capability of planning this, but to watch everyone immediately fall into all the roles of a fantasy league. And I mean, Poppy, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've been in them. To see a Nero take that role of like, I don't care. Let's just do the bit and keep going.
Right.
And Callow, who as soon as he started winning, got super into it.
Yeah, he got into it, too.
And of course, he was also the guy who missed the draft. And Juxta, who's the guy who had this way out of left field strategy, and it's paying off for him. He's in the Hyper Bowl. Me, I'm the league director. I wanted to make everything very, very well thought out and planned, and then my team falls apart and doesn't work at all.
Right. And you got Nika.
You got Nika, who is the quintessential girl in the league, who's just like, I like these characters, I'm going to draft them.
Right.
And I'm never going to change my team no matter how bad they do. And just like everyone fell into the role perfectly without planning. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
Losing my phone.
Yeah. I'd like to thank all the people who voted, too.
Definitely. Like, you guys, obviously, you make the league work. If no one votes, then we're not able to do it. And it was like so much fun. Like I enjoyed in week 9, I think it was either week 8 or week 9 when me and Callow squared off, and someone out there championed my cause. Because Callow was telling me like throughout the whole night he'd go on the stream and get people to like vote for him.
Oh, the big night,
to put himself ahead.
Yeah.
And then like I would suddenly be caught up or leading a little bit, and like it went right up to the wire. We ended up getting like 60 or 70 votes under our game. There was someone was leading my cause out there, and I don't know who it was. I think it might have been Joe Never Fails.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Right.
I haven't talked to him about it, but I think it might have been him. But nevertheless, it made for a fun storyline, and that's what's like really good about it. Is like there's so much opportunity for fun bits and story arcs behind all this. So I do want to eventually like find a way to include the Garleans in this and like have fun with it there. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you guys asked me, I was kind of shocked and surprised because it was my first day even here.
Literally, yeah, it was literally your first
day. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
And I didn't think, I thought I was going to get obliterated every week, and it started like that.
And it started like
first 4 weeks.
4 weeks, 4 losses, and I was right there with you. I was getting clobbered in my first few weeks,
and I was like, okay, I see how this is going to be. A new guy, But then people started getting to know things like that. And
see, I think Callow had an advantage that I don't even know that he realized. Like the fans made his team. Of course, they want his team to win.
It's the people's team.
It's the people's team, even though he replaced most of them.
Right. Man, but yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, going back to what we were talking about on earlier on LBR, the what's that new dungeon called?
Deep Palace of the Dead. Yep.
What do you really think that's going to be like?
When I look at it and I look at like the pictures that they've presented, it really does scream Nizal Isle at me.
Right.
Just because the way the rooms, like each room is there, but each room looks like it could be placed anywhere with its door facing another direction. It does look like it will be randomly generated, and that just like, even though the aesthetic was obviously completely different, it looked to me like a Nizal Isle setting where all the Nizal Isle rooms, there was like 6 different kinds of rooms, and it was just how are they arranged and what are the objectives on them.
Right.
And that's what this looks like to me. And the way they describe it, I'm looking forward to this independent. But I look at this content and I think, oh my God, it's something dynamic. It's going to be different every time I do it. That's the world to me. Like, I wouldn't care if all they did was put tomes in it.
Right.
If I can do that to get tomes as opposed to running dungeons to get tomes, absolutely. Count me in. Like, I'm at the point right now where I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to get on and do dungeons for tomes.
Right.
I've been doing that since 2.0.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm not even so concerned about the rewards. Like, it has to be there. I get that, or a lot of people aren't going to do it. But I look at this content and I think, oh my God, it's something dynamic. It's going to be different every time I do it. That's the world to me. Like, I wouldn't care if all they did was put tomes in it.
Right.
If I can do that to get tomes as opposed to running dungeons to get tomes, absolutely. Count me in. Like, I'm at the point right now where I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to get on and do dungeons for tomes.
Right.
I've been doing that since 2.0.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. If 4.0 comes out and it's more of that, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I need something different. And if this is something different, good. I'm in.
Yoshi
I don't care what it takes.
Say that they were coming out with new ways of doing stuff. So
Yes.
I'm hoping. I'm like Nero said earlier, he's not holding his breath. I'm not either. I know they have a pattern of doing things, and I'm hoping that this breaks the pattern.
Well, if there's anything that SE has taught you, it's not to hold your breath.
Right.
That said, I mean, it's nice to see them at least start experimenting with other things.
Yeah.
It was nice to, like, we all hoped that Diadem was going to be something like big and grand, and what we got was something different.
Yes.
Which was that first step that we wanted, and they seemed to like put it out and say, and it's good.
Yeah.
When it wasn't good yet.
It wasn't
It
structured,
had all the potential in the world to expand and be that system that we wanted, and they've not done anything with it since.
Right.
Mainly because it wasn't the most well received. I kind of look at this and think they're probably looking at this as their opportunity to try again,
right,
and make that happen, which seems like a bummer because it seems like you wasted a lot of time with Diadem if that's the case.
Yeah.
You should definitely continue with that because Diadem does have good systems. We call it Skynimus for a reason. It had the makings of two decent systems that they took from 11. Mm-hmm. You just have to work with it more. You have to make it worth using it, and you have to up the dynamic, how dynamic it is. That kind of event, like the 11, any event that you do now that's based off an 11 event can't be static.
Right.
It has to have that dynamic capability to it because that's what made it fun. You can't bring it to 14 and say, okay, we're going to take, like, if they just said, all right, we're bringing Dynamis to this game, but we're only bringing Dynamis Windurst, and you can only follow one path. People would be like, no. I'm not doing that.
Right.
It has to be, okay, no, we're going to bring Dynamis to this game, and you can go to any Dynamis that you want, and you can do it in whatever order that you want to do it. That is a dynamic, fun way, because people look for different ways of doing things. And even if you know what, maybe if it's not the fastest, people are eventually going to be like, hey, what if we did the fourth boss first? Let's try that tonight. Like, at least you have the option to do something silly like that.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be more than, hey, let's try without our job crystals on. As fun as that is.
No, I wouldn't mind doing that with some other dungeons, though. I mean, that to me, that seems like fun. Just fucking around, you know?
Sure. Like, yeah, what if, I don't know that this makes any sense, but like, what if you could do like a dungeon and just dropped off in a random place in the dungeon?
Yeah.
How, like, I don't know.
No.
How's that gonna work?
Like, you dropped off like after like the third mob, and you have to like go in a different order or something like that. Just anything to mix it up, because like at some point you get to the point where you're doing your dailies every day. You do your expert. You get put into the anti-tower over and over and over again. You can do it blindfolded. You know exactly where you're going. You know exactly all the strats. Mm-hmm. Eventually, the groups get good enough that you're never going to die.
Right.
And at that point, it's literally just a grind. There's no dynamic element to it anymore. There's a dynamic element for the first month after the content releases, and then it's gone.
Correct.
If you look at something like Palace of the Dead, where it's going to at least be different, even if it's just artificially different because the rooms are laid out differently.
Yeah.
At least my brain is engaged to think about it for a second. Like, oh, it's over here. Oh, okay, the objective's over this way. Mm-hmm. Let's go over this way. I might communicate with my team more than just saying, Calcabrina looks weird.
Right.
Like something different. That's all. Like, if you can have that every time you experience the game, that's how you make the grind bearable. Mm-hmm. That's how you open the door to do things like one of the old school relic weapons. Like, can you imagine what doing an old school relic weapon would be like if all you could do was anti-tower?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
No one would have it. 0.0 people would have it, because you would do it like 1,000 times, and then you'd mash your face through the window, and you'd be blind, and it'd be bad. That would be it.
Then you can't play.
Then you can't play anymore. Like, you have to like learn to play on Braille, and it's gonna be weird.
Oh, that would be.
That'd be very hard.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, since anti-tower is the same every time, you eventually could.
Yeah, you can do it in your sleep. Yeah.
Eventually. But that's why I like this idea of a dynamic event that will change every time you do it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they had like a grid you behind the scenes grid of say like 6x6 squares, and every square is a room, and every time you go into a room you have to touch something and it would take you either left or right. And it's just that dynamic of it's just a random thing of we're going to go left or right or some other direction. Just different rooms every time.
No one liked getting light the lamps. I get that. No one liked that. It wasn't a happy moment. I remember very specifically my first time getting to floor 100. Floor 99 was light the lamps in a specific order and avoid detection from archaic gears, which was a nightmare. There was no good way to do that. But at the same time, we had 5 people on headsets talking, trying to coordinate the order. And I mean, even at the time, a lot of times you didn't use headset. You had to learn to type it out in chat real effectively. And if you could actually lead the group and get them to like do the order properly, that was a great feeling when you got that accomplished. Like, holy crap, we just did light the lamps, 5 lamps. And we're going to have time to clear the floor 100 boss. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
What a cool moment that was. What in 14 provides you with that opportunity?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. Not much.
No. I mean, they said 3.35?
3.35, yes, is when we're looking at for that.
That's kind of disappointing.
A little. It's not that surprising because they've already kind of spoiled so much of what we're looking forward to in 3.3. I mean, we know we're going to get another run of Relic at that point.
Right.
The theory is that we're going to get more Diadem. We know there's going to be more storyline. It's not completely uncommon for them to say, oh, and by the way, here's something to look forward to for the 0.5 after that. Like when Diadem was first coming, we got the update way beforehand that it would be coming out in the 0.5 patch following. So it's not surprising that they're saying, oh, look, and by the way, Palace of the Dead is coming in the 0.5 patch. What I hope is that doesn't mean we're going to get a light 3.3 patch. I'm hoping that we're not going to get a kind of a scant 3.3 patch with them saying, don't worry, though, the big system's coming in the 0.5 that follows.
Right. I mean, we're getting Void Arc, and we're also supposedly getting new Diadem and stuff like that.
Hopefully good Diadem.
Right. I'm hoping that maybe the Relic is at 3.35.
Do you think they'll do Relic in 3 straight patches?
I want, because they said 3.3, we're getting more Relic.
Right, we'll get it in 3.3, and we also got it in 3.25.
So maybe they might push it back to coincide with the new dungeon.
I don't feel like we're going to get Relic 3 straight patches. That seems unlikely to me. I'd imagine, because we got it in 3.25, we're getting it again in 3.3. I imagine they'll skip 3.35 and do it in 3.4.
Because I was hoping that the new, like, say if they have new materia, because that's how we're possibly changing the stats. We don't know. Right. But maybe it would be nice if it was connected to something like that. So that way the new dungeon isn't all in one area.
Yeah. I was trying to, because I asked on the show what we all thought would be a good reward out of Palace of the Dead, and I guess I'm kind of torn because I wouldn't want it to be like the top tier raid gear. Obviously, they're never going to do that. They're always going to keep the raid gear in that one step above. But like, what is a fair reward? And I think Nero said it pretty well. Is like an alternative to tome gear. Right. I think if an alternative to tome gear drops out of there, that is like 2 things. It is a huge step away from the tome treadmill, which is what we've all complained about, and it's some honest to God customization options. Like literally, like, oh, I can do tomes, or I can do this and get gear of the same eye level, comparable gear in an event that could be a lot more fun. And you know what? If you're someone out there who doesn't like dynamic stuff, tomes are always available for you.
I'm hoping that I'm always throwing out that hoping word. With all this new gear, they have to do something with our inventory. Juxta and I believe Kahlo said they have 2 retainers just for gear.
For glamour gear.
It's just a glamour problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's glamour gear. Like, I don't know if they will acquiesce to accommodate all that glamour gear. Like, I look at my character. I have 1 retainer or 2 retainers because I wanted to be able to do more of the retainer leaves. Right. And overall, like, I don't think either of my retainers are even near full on gear, and my main's not full on gear. So
yeah, same here.
So to me, I look at it like, I don't care about glamour in this game. Like, I have, like, my alt has some glamour, but my main, like, there's no gear that I've worked hard enough in this game to want to say, like, I need to keep this on me at all time. Right. I have my one other set that was my Ironworks gear, and that's it. That's like my one other set of gear that I keep around.
Right. I would like it to have, I know, like you said, you don't do a lot of the glamour stuff, but a lot of us are. Have maybe like a book instead of all these things.
If you want, they could take a page out of 11's book where you could, once you had a full set, you could turn it in for a voucher and turn it into a storage NPC who would hold on to it for you. And then all you would get, you'd take your 5 pieces of gear, you'd get a voucher back. So now you have it in one slot. And then you could just, whenever you need to get it back, you take it to the NPC, trade it in, and you get your gear back.
Right.
They could do it that way.
They could. I was thinking more of like a book where you, like your crafting log. You have, say, like your Ironworks gear. You wanted, excuse me, you wanted to go over your Dreadworm gear, right?
Sure.
So you go to this log and you find out, okay, I need to just glamour over it just by using the log. That way you don't have to have the gear.
You don't actually have to have the gear on you.
Right. It's kind of like
once you've owned it, you basically have it accessible for glamour whenever you want it.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea
either. Isn't that what the armory chest for though? Because can't you put gear in that chest?
I think only specific gear, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't glamour.
Not to check that out.
I think that would be another way of doing it. The other thing I want is I still want mannequins in this game. I want mannequins that I can put armor on and display in my house.
Yeah.
How is that not in this game?
Exactly.
How does all right.
Same with weapon racks.
You finally got chairs in the game. Thank God. And even 11 has chairs now, which is amazing. How are mannequins not in this game yet? In a game that is so built around having a house and displaying stuff in it. How are mannequins not in this game yet?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to have mannequins. I'd like to have weapon racks.
Oh, weapon racks. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I mean, I have all these Moogle weapons because I like the Moogle weapons. They're funny. I like to just display them on the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
even if it's just like something simple where you could take just one weapon and you got like a little mount and you put on the mount over your fireplace. Like, hey, check out my swag pole arm up there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Nero in the Buster store out there.
Yeah, for those who don't know, a Nero has a Buster sword in his living room above his TV.
Yeah, that is not a joke.
It is. It's kind of a wussy Buster sword. I mean, it's not. I mean, let's be frank here. It's like
cool though.
I think we've all seen bigger Buster swords. Am I right? Come on now.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, when I first walked into this apartment, I mean, it's like, holy shit, that's a Buster. I've never seen anything like that. It was pretty cool, actually. But hey.
People seem to like the idea of the glamour binder. And yeah, that would be a good idea. Like, once you've had the gear, you always have it accessible for glamour. You don't need to keep it. Yeah. I think it'd be a great idea. Yeah. I don't know that you'd ever do it, but I think it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I would. The great ideas, sometimes they kind of...
How jaded are we where we're always just like, that'd be a great idea. That's why it'll never happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Aww.
We're so jaded.
You know, I wish a lot of people... I know we have a great community.
Yes.
And there a lot of these weird little tiny things that we say, oh my God, why in the fuck did they put that in there? I want to say if all of us that have really good ideas go to the forums and instead of keep posting over and over, you find the right post, you go to that post and you like it.
Yeah.
Because I think they made a mention of this the other day at PAX East. Just make one post so Matt Hilton doesn't have to go through 80 different posts for the same damn thing.
Yeah, someone make the post, and instead of you making another post, comment on that post.
Yes. Please, you guys, go like it, or just don't make another freaking poster.
And tell them you got the idea from Limit Break Radio.
Exactly.
By the way, so disappointed no one at the meetup at PAX East today asked who their favorite Limit Break Radio host is. I keep trying to get someone to ask them a question about Limit Break Radio just because I want their response.
Right.
I want them to be like, get them out of here. Get the security. Get them out of here. We don't acknowledge that show. Get them out of here.
Joe gave Yoshi his shirt, right?
He did. Joe gave Yoshi his shirt, and Yoshi wore it on stage, and that's awesome. And Joe, good for Joe because Joe's an amazing streamer.
Is that set a precedence for you guys when you guys go out to FanFest?
I might be bringing your shirt with me.
There you go.
I mean, I'm sure Yoshi's gonna blow his nose in mine when he gets up there on stage, but nevertheless, I'm gonna bring it, and the point's gonna be made.
Right. Hey, I mean, if he wears it, he wears it, but, yeah. It's pretty awesome.
I think that was really cool of him, and not something at all that he had to do. But I mean, Joe's obviously a very prominent figure now in the community, especially in the PvP community. And unlike maybe some people on this show, he doesn't piss off half the community regularly. So I can see why Yoshi may have felt comfortable donning the Joe Never Fails shirt. Which, by the way, Joe's shirts are awesome anyway. So why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I mean, Jux was even wearing one today.
Oh, see, I was almost going to ask Koji about LBR. Well, almost doesn't do me any good.
They know who LBR is, though.
I would imagine so. I mean, we're a big enough community by ourselves.
I'm sure they know who we are. I just like the idea that they have a mandate where they're not allowed to talk about us. That makes me smile on the
I
inside.
would actually like to know what they think of LBR.
I would too, because I gotta think like a bunch of them over there are probably like, oh God. But there's at least a few on the staff who like think we're funny.
Right.
And they're just like, That's so true.
I mean, I've written to...
Who thought 3.1 was okay?
Right.
That was ridiculous, right?
I mean, since Kooky got Susan on the show, I wrote to Hilton. And that's the response. Nothing.
Yeah, I a while ago when one of the patches got delayed, I tweeted at Matt Hilton, and I tweeted to him like, confirm or deny, patch was pushed back because SE is mad at LBR, because it was right after the Salted Earth episode, and he didn't reply to me, but shortly after he replied, I get the craziest theories about why patches are pushed back. I'm like, aha!
At least he responded.
He's not allowed to talk about us, but he knows we're here.
Oh, that's too funny. Too funny.
He can't.
It would be awesome, because I know I tweeted him. I said, Matt, I know you don't know who I am, but I would like it for you and Devin to both call into the show, maybe, and talk about things that you guys can't, because I know there's stuff they can't talk about. But they'd be freaking awesome.
It would be, but it's so hard for actual SC representatives to call in. They I know that the guys ran into this in the old show, where like when they would have to, they'd have to like all their lines of questioning would have to be like vetted before they could even get them on the show, and there was stuff they couldn't talk about. I believe they weren't even allowed to do it live because of that. So like there was so many hoops to jump through. Like there's no way they would ever call in. But maybe like one day we'll get them to like shoot us a message on Twitter or something like that, or if we can catch them off guard at a convention or something like that.
That might be something you guys ask at FanFest.
If we see him at FanFest, just be like, sup? So like seriously, like, do you hate us?
Yeah.
We just want to know.
If not, can you be on the show for 20 minutes or half an hour?
Check it out.
Yeah, we know about you guys.
Yeah. The moment where they call security on
That's
me.
right. While they're talking to you, they're like clicking their fingers, pointing. Yep.
Get this guy girl thing out of here. I don't know what she is.
They're scooting you out the back door. You know.
That's about it.
Well, you have any more things for EsKalia, Kooky?
No, I don't. I just can't really say anything much about the whole Square Enix thing right now.
Oh, okay.
I guess I can say it here. I actually did interview with Square Enix a couple months ago, and I did meet with Matt and Devin and everything. So
are they super cool?
I'm sorry?
Are they really cool? I mean, I only see them on.
They're really cool. They knew that I actually did Limit Break Radio, but
they know.
They're aware enough to know that you work with us.
Yes, they were aware, and they actually called me in for an interview. So obviously,
they don't just blatantly hate us. Interesting.
But they didn't tell me directly what Limit Break Radio is to them.
Sure.
Because I do know, because that was a job interview. So
right.
Well, they have to obviously keep it professional.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the fact that they knew, that's interesting. That's a little insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I can say about that.
Oh, that's okay.
All right, yeah, we won't press for you on it any more than that. But thank you for sharing that. Yes. That's interesting.
Now after the show, we're really going to type her.
Yeah, after the show, on the other hand, we're going to have words.
The questions are going to fly. But that's awesome, Kook. Yeah.
And Kooky, congratulations again on your engagement. It's very exciting. I assume we're all invited to the wedding.
We were joking about
she paused. She paused. That's a no.
I overstepped.
We were joking about that because you know how we're all together this October at FanFest? Yep. We're like, it's Vegas. What do people do at Vegas?
Oh, Kooky getting married in Vegas. Pelly, hang on to her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Nice. That's too awesome, though.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you guys finish up then. Thanks so much for having me on today.
Not a problem, man. I'm glad to have you on.
Yep.
All right. Take it easy, man.
Take care, guys.
Awesome. It's always good to have Callie in the studio.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah. I really wanted him today because of the whole FFFL thing. I lost by 1 vote. I went to bed at 11:45 on Friday, and I was up by 2.
1 vote?
Yeah, I lost by 1. Yeah, I went to bed. All right, I won this goddamn thing, And I came in, came over today, and I was like, yeah. And then he said, yeah, it looks like Juxta squeaked one. I'm like, wait, what? What? Are you fucking serious? I said, I went to bed a couple minutes before 12, and I was still up by 2. He goes, no, you got 2 quick votes on you. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I know
no.
you try.
Yeah,
You retweet it. You put it on Facebook.
Yep.
You put it out there.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, yeah, Zeldoria, those pictures were pretty convincing. I might have to have a word with the commissioner on that promotion kind of stuff. I mean, what am I going to do? Put, a couple, I guess I could have put Lulu and Yuna out there, but,
Yuna.
Yeah.
I like Yuna.
Yeah. I mean, she was my favorite white mage in the whole Final Fantasy universe. So, yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Garnet's my favorite.
Garnet?
Yeah.
Oh. Would you like to be in it?
I think I might be in it next time. We'll see.
Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Right. All right, guys. I guess we are going to wrap it up.
Alrighty.
All right. No, I'm trying to find these buttons to press. And I'm here. And Nero's not in the room today, so I'm having, trying to do this by myself. Yeah, because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But anyways, you guys can find us at limitbreakradio.com, where we have past shows. You can also vote for the last game. I think it's Kahlo versus Juxta. You can find that on the blog over limitbreakradio.com. You can follow us on Twitter at limitbreakradio. Throw us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/limitbreakradio. You can also support the show at patreon.com/limitbreakradio. You can find Kooky on Twitter at Kooky Persona. I'm sorry. And you can find me at LenHeath1. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you guys next week, 1 o'clock for Limit Break Radio, 5 o'clock for FEC.
That's Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Yep. And that's right, because it's not your time.
No.
And then after that, you can join me and Kooky and one of the hosts for a post show. Until then, you guys, take it easy, and we will talk to you guys later.
See ya.